welcome to Local Leaders. This is Rebecca Silvestri, VP of Sales and Marketing with Local Profile. And today we're chatting with Erika Doolittle. She's Senior Manager of Corporate Social Responsibility with Toyota. Hi, Erika.
Hi, Rebecca. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you.
Woohoo! Awesome. Well, Erika, we have quite a lofty, very impressive title. What does Senior Manager of Corporate Social Responsibility for Toyota do? What do you do?
Yeah, it's a mouthful. So, Rebecca, I will tell you the short answer is that my job is really to identify ways to strengthen communities where Toyota team members both work and live. And in order for us to do that, we've kind of focused our strategies in a couple different areas. Those are workforce readiness, community sustainability, and mobility. So that's the short answer. But the longer answer is that when we talk about workforce readiness, that's really about striving to help create a more diverse and skilled workforce pipeline. We work with Plano and Dallas ISD to provide access to education and awareness to careers at Toyota. And we help mentor, we provide scholarships, and we even provide internships at Toyota. But we also understand that, those programs aren't successful unless socioeconomic needs are met for these youth. So, if a student is hungry, if they're homeless, if they're abused, if they don't have clothes, they can't really be successful no matter what kind of educational tools we get them. So that's where kind of this community sustainability and helping, give our communities access to basic needs and essential resources is so important. And then, another part of what we do is we're a mobility company. And so we recognize that helping people get from point A to point B is really essential for a thriving community. And so we've also developed programs to help us, to help the disabled and seniors get to appointments, jobs, get access to food. So all that to say, my job is to lead the team to identify solutions to accomplish all of those things. So.
Wow. It must be a pretty big team. It's quite a lot to handle.
Well, and there's several teams. I get to run the team that focuses on workforce readiness and community sustainability. And then I have a couple counterparts. So like they say, it takes a village.
Yes, absolutely. So for anyone watching, if they wanted to do an internship at Toyota, or if their son or daughter, how do you go about getting an internship?
So we normally work with our various nonprofits in the community. So Girl Scouts, Boys and Girls Club, Junior Achievement, the Plano ISD, Dallas ISD, and we would work with them to identify students that they are aware of that they think, and we think would be great internships. So normally we kind of go through those avenues so that we can provide opportunities to some of the communities that may not normally get them. So that's really the best way.
Right there, that makes a lot of sense. So locally in Collin County, how is Toyota helping to support our community?
Well, I will say I am so proud that there's so much we're doing. And like I said earlier, it takes a village. And so when Toyota arrived 5 years ago, I wasn't even here then. And actually before we even arrived, our executives and our team worked hard to get to know the community and their needs. So we immediately started making relationships with other brands, with nonprofits. And one area that we immediately invested in was education, amongst many others, but that was one area. And, we quickly grew a relationship, and we support the Plano STEAM Academy. We work with Junior Achievement, the Boys and Girls Club of Collin County, Girl Scouts of Northeast Texas, Meals on Wheels. I mean, I could just go on and on. There's so much that the team, so many relationships that the team really built when we came here. But one thing that we're most proud of is that we created an impact grant in Collin County that supports homeless women and children. And the program really brings together 5 local nonprofits to help these homeless single moms and their children really live a more economically stable life by providing them with housing, transportation, childcare, education. I mean, really the full package. And then we're also proud of the work that we do with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Collin County. We, like I mentioned earlier, we provide mentorships and scholarships and internships for them. And our team members also love to be able to donate supplies to the local Boys and Girls Club to get the kids ready for school. And so we were still able to do that this year. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about the Impact Grant. Who are the nonprofits that are involved in that?
So it is run and managed by United Way, is kind of the nonprofit that brings everyone together, and they select they're the moms, the single moms kind of do an interview, and they select those based on the various criteria that I can't speak to very well, but and they select these women and their families and start to identify what are their critical needs to get them back on their feet. And like I said, it's all of those things. It's transportation. It's it definitely takes a village. It's a big effort. And so we're kind of in the throes of that right now, and waiting to see what kind of an impact we will make with that.
Yes.
Grant. Yeah.
So how has COVID-19 affected your plans, and how have you seen the need change?
So, if anything, I think COVID has really validated the importance of what we do every day, because it's really exacerbated the communities we already serve today. And as part of our community sustainability strategies, we support the effects of disasters, and COVID is a disaster. So when COVID first started, we immediately went out into our communities. So, Toyota has a big presence throughout the country. So we went out to all of our communities, including, Collin County, and we assessed what is the biggest need. And at the time, they all told us food. We were seeing on TV that food bank people were lining up around the corner, and there was, there was distribution issues, and there wasn't enough food. So we really said, okay, the first thing we want to do is support our food banks and food pantries in our operating areas to help them distribute food. And then now what we're looking at is, okay, what is the next thing we can do to support our communities around COVID? And we've identified that distance learning, no surprise, that's something that there's a huge need, especially in our underserved communities. And so we're helping to provide technology and connectivity, food, mental health for youth. So we haven't had to pivot too much, but it's just kind of validated the importance of everything we do. If anything, we need more money and more funds and more resources to be able to help because of COVID. So.
Yes, absolutely. So we did have some technical difficulties right at the beginning of the broadcast. So if anyone is joining us right now, we are chatting with Erika Doolittle. She's Senior Manager of Corporate Social Responsibility with Toyota. Okay, so just carrying on, we know that Toyota has a huge headquarters here in Plano, and it can feel a little bit disconnected from the community. Why is it that being part of the community is so important for Toyota?
So, I know this is probably a cliche, but the first thing I will say is that we're really all in this together. So, being a good corporate citizen is about giving back and investing in our communities in a genuine way. It's not about getting your brand name on everything. It's really about making an impact. And when you work in your community, you meet your neighbors, you build strong relationships. And so you are personally able to understand what the needs are. And Toyota prides itself in doing that. And I think through the relationships that you build, you can maybe not only work with these nonprofits to identify their needs, but maybe you work with other brands down the street where you can come together and both provide your know-how, right? And make an even bigger impact on the community. So it's just so important. It's not only the right thing to do, and it's not only what our team members and our customers honestly expect, but it can have a huge impact. And I'm personally so proud that I get to do that as part of my job every day. So.
It must be so nice to wake up every day and be able to just know you're going to work to help people.
Yeah, the hardest part is I wish we had more, I wish we had more money. I wish we had more people. I wish we were able to work with more, there's so much need. And so I just encourage all of the companies in the area, to get involved and get your team members involved, because it really does make a big impact.
So what is a project or something that you've been involved in that you feel most proud about?
I will say, I think the work that we do with Boys and Girls Club is so great. Not only do we work with them nationally, but we obviously are heavily involved with them here in Collin County. And we're working on a program right now that falls into the category of workforce readiness. And we're working to give access to Boys and Girls Club kids, give them access to understanding what kind of careers they can get at Toyota or at other companies. And traditionally, it doesn't have to be that you need to strive to go for a traditional 4-year degree, right? There are amazing certifications that you can get and be a Toyota technician, and these kids can strive to make 3 figures. I mean, and so we want kids to think about that. We want their parents to think about that. If 4-year degree is not right for everybody, first of all, it's extremely expensive. It's very competitive. And that doesn't mean just because you can't do that you can't be successful in a different way. And so we are really working hard to give awareness to our technician and certification programs to our Boys and Girls Club kids, so that they can start to learn about it. And then when they get in high school, they can be a part of kind of an internship program, go to a dealership, learn about it. It's not that typical get your hands greasy that people think about. It is a beautiful, pristine area that's super clean, that's very sophisticated, and these kids can, have a really successful future doing something like that. So it's really in the early stages of piloting, and COVID's put us behind a little bit because we can't necessarily get the kids into the dealership right now, but I'm really proud of the work that my entire team has done to try to essentially give kids access to understanding these types of careers at Toyota.
Right. So for those people who don't know, what does Boys and Girls Club do?
So that's a great question. They provide after school care for really anyone can sign up. They're in all of your local communities. And so their after school program is very robust. They offer various curriculum for different aged kids, from everything from career development to mental health to college awareness. I mean, some of this Collin County, some of the folks, they take these kids on road trips. The BGCA folks take them on road trips, and to all of the universities in the state to give them awareness. And so it's not just your typical after school care program. They are really helping these kids flourish, and they feed them. They support their parents. It's really helping those kids be have access to things that they wouldn't. If they're just going home and sitting at home and watching TV, they're not going to get the same type of nourishment. And so it's an amazing and great program. And they also have what they call Youth of the Year, which is where students learn. They have a curriculum that they go through to help them learn to be a good leader. And they have a competition every year in every single region. And the person who wins at a national level is awarded a Corolla. So we've got a handful of students that have won that Corolla over the years. And so it's really a great program because, like I said, it really helps these kids be better learners and prepares them for the future. They get to go to the Hill in DC and talk to representatives. I mean, it's a pretty amazing program. So all that to say, Boys and Girls Club is more than just your typical after school program.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that it's open to literally anyone. It's not focused just on, yeah,
It
right?
absolutely is. Yep. Yep.
So I do think it's a great option for anyone who's local, and just for anyone watching, it's Boys and Girls Club of Collin County locally. So remember, North Texas Giving Day is this Friday, if that's someone you might want to support. And Erika, how would you recommend that people get personally involved in giving and helping our community?
So I think the first thing you want to do is you want to think about what matters to you. Where do you personally want to make a difference? Is it serving the elderly? Is it mentoring kids? Is it picking up trash? Is it planting trees? What calls to you? And once you identify that, then I think start to do your research. Start to do your research of what nonprofits in the community focus on whatever it is that matters to you. And once you do that, you can look at attending their events. Right now, most of them are virtual, but all of the nonprofits are really adapting to this virtual environment right now. And really get your name out there, get noticed, call the director of development and really understand what their needs are and try to support them. And it's not just about giving money, right? It's about giving goods. It's about giving back. It's about serving. And then, someday once you get super involved, some people sit on boards and then they're involved in a different way. But, honestly, these nonprofits love people in their community to get involved, and they want more and more people involved. So I would just encourage you to find out what speaks to you and where do you want to make a difference?
I think that is such incredible advice, because one thing to just say, well, get involved, but figure out what is important to you, and then you're going to be passionate about it. So I think that's really great advice. Thank you.
And take your kids, right? I mean, we're good examples for our kids to help our kids get out there and learn to volunteer and get involved at a very young age. So
yes, we spoke to Jerry Chambers of Communities Foundation of Texas last week, and she said the same thing. Have a think about what are important to you, and ask your kids, get them involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for chatting with us today, Erika. I've loved chatting with you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rebecca, and thanks, viewers.
And reminder for everyone, we'll be back next week at 11:30 for local leaders. Two little reminders for this week as well. This Thursday is North Texas Giving Day. So if you're interested in giving, it is the biggest giving day in North Texas. And also we have our 19th annual Women in Business Summit, which is coming up on October 23. And we look forward to seeing you. You can find out more at localprofile.com/WIB2020. Again, that's localprofile.com/WIB2020. Look forward to seeing you there or next week. Bye.